Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am presenting this heterocyclic compounds. So what is meant by heterocyclic compounds? These are the contents of my presentation. First one is introduction, objective of this presentation, then importance of heterocyclic compounds, classification of heterocycles and nomenclature of heterocyclic compounds. So heterocyclic compounds are nothing but a cyclic compounds which contains heteroatom like oxygen, sulfur or nitrogen with carbon and hydrogen elements in the ring. Suppose we contain this as a aromatic ring system, or this one is benzene ring, replacement of one carbon with any other heteroatom from this oxygen, sulfur or nitrogen. This cycle is known as heterocyclic compound. That heterocyclic compound may be 3-membered, 4-member, 5-member, 6-member, like this. Heterocyclic compounds may be classified into aliphatic and aromatic compounds. These aliphatic heterocycles are the cyclic analogues of amines, ethers, thioethers, amides, etc. The aromatic heterocyclic compounds similar to benzene in some of their properties. The importance of these heterocycles. These heterocyclic compounds occurs widely in nature and in variety of non-naturally occurring compounds, and large number of heterocyclic compounds are essential to life, like alkaloids, antibiotics, essential amino acids and hemoglobin, etc. The knowledge of heterocyclic chemistry is useful in biosynthesis and the development of new chemical entities, which is beneficial to medicinal chemistry. And the compounds and its derivatives are useful for the synthesis of new drugs and new drug development for getting requirements therapeutic needed. So classification of heterocycles on the basis of heteroatom. First, on the basis of heteroatom means which heteroatom is present. For example, this oxygen, nitrogen and this sulfur. In this case these three are 5-member ring system, but on the basis of heteroatom it may be 3, it may be 4, it may be 5, isn't it? But which heteroatom is present on the basis of this? For example, this which heteroatom? It is oxygen is a heteroatom. It is furan first. It is Pyrrole. This one is thiophene. Isn't it? Second one is on the basis of electronic structure, means 3-member ring system. First is 3-member ring system, means that ring contains a 3, 1, 2 and 3-member ring system. It is again 1, 2. It may be saturated, it is unsaturated. Saturation is aziridine, azirine. We'll see in later in nomenclature part. This heterocycle is 3-member ring system. This one is also 3-member ring system, but this is saturated, this one is unsaturated 3-membered ring system, but it is only containing nitrogen, means nitrogenous saturated 3-member heterocyclic ring system. Nitrogenous, non-nitrogenous means, for example, when replacement of this with like this oxygen, isn't it? So this is called as 3-member ring system. It may be saturated or unsaturated. Second one is 4-member ring system. It is again, this is saturation, fully saturated, azidine. This is azate. It is unsaturated ring system. 4-member. Then 5-member saturated. This is unsaturated. It is pyrrolidine, then Pyrrole. 6-member saturated. It is pyridine. Then 7-member like azepine. It is unsaturated. This one I am taking this only nitrogenous heterocycle for your under this classification, and others we will see in their structures. This 8-member ring system, it is azocene, it is unsaturation. It contains 8 member, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 7 carbons and 1 is nitrogen as a heteroatom. Then fused ring system, it is Baines furan, it is Baines Pyrrole, 1 2 3 4 5 6, this one is 7, this is Baines Pyrrole, this is Baines pyridine, isn't it? It is quinoline, this is isoquinoline, this is pyrimidine, imidazole, it is pyridine ring system. Pyridine ring system. These are the fused member ring system. Then nomenclature of this International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry has made efforts to systematic nomenclature of these heterocyclic compounds. According to the system, single 3 to 10 member ring are named by combining appropriate prefix, like this first oxygen is oxa, having a 2 valency, nitrogen is aza, sulfur is thia, silicon is selena, like this. These 3 are important for second year syllabus or routine. That's phosphor, this is sila, then germa, like this. This is a common name ending for heterocyclic compound, like for example when we consider this 5-member ring system, like 5-member ring system like this, containing nitrogen atom, nitrogen 3, this is what saturated ring system. So it is suffix for fully unsaturated compound, or this is for saturated compound. When we consider this is saturated with nitrogen, like this, saturated with nitrogen. So olidine, so this azolidine, aza from this, azo, and azolidine, like this. This is the name of this. When we replace when we contain this unsaturation at this one, containing again nitrogen, unsaturation, this one, like this is what, this 1 2 3 4 and this one is 5. So again it contains a 5-member ring size, and it is nitrogenous, again fully suffix for fully unsaturated, this is unsaturated. So it is what, with nitrogen it is ol, so it is azole, this is what, aza, that's why it is azole, isn't it? Like this table is useful for the nomenclature of or heterocyclic compound, azole, like this. So these are the 3-member ring system, one by one. This is aziridine, like this, aziridine means 3-member. It is what, saturated or unsaturated? It is saturated ring system, saturated with nitrogen, it is iridine. So which iridine? Aziridine, that's why it is aziridine. It is thirane, it is again saturated, irane, isn't it? Without nitrogen it is thirane, isn't it? Oxirane, this is oxygen without nitrogen. So use of this table is very important for naming the heterocyclic. This is azirine, again it is azirine, 1 2 3, 2 azirine, it is double bond between 2 and 3, or it is unsaturation between 2 and 3. oxyrene. The rain is converted into rene because unsaturation. It is without nitrogen, it is rene and rain. Okay. Like this. Thirene, dioxyrane. Rain means again it is what? Non-nitrogenous with 3 member. It is saturated ring system. RANE. Diazyrene. Again it is what? Unsaturation. That's why it is rene. Isn't it? Zyrene. Like this 3 member ring system. Continuation with this classification, this is what? 4 member azatidine. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So azatidine, tidine indicates what? 4 member azatidine. It is what? Tidine. It is tidine, what is nitrogen containing, and it is what? Aza. That's why it is azatidine. Oxetane. That is what? Tane indicates what? ANE indicates it is non-nitrogenous but saturated. It is thietane. Like this. Azate. It is unsaturation with nitrogen. It is oxate. ETE. ETE is the last, and like this. ETE. 4 member ETE. It is ETE. This is used for both with and without nitrogen for unsaturation. So like this is what? Diazatidine, dioxetane, dithiate. Like this. Next one is 5 member ring system. It is again 1, 2. Numbering will be starts from, always it is starts from heteroatom. If 2 heteroatoms are there, so O is the first oxygen, then O, S, and use this nitrogen is the last. If 2 heteroatoms out of this are present or 3 are present, like this. For example, if oxygen and nitrogen is there, so oxygen gives the first preference out of this 2, sulfur and OSI 2, and this one is 3. Oxazolidine. So it is what? 1, 3 oxazolidine. Isn't it? Because 1, 3 oxygen is on the 1 and third number it is isoxazolidine. Iso means these are the ortho to each other or nearer to each other, ortho to each other. It is pyrazole. It is diazole. 1, 2 diazole. It is 1, 3 diazole. It is imidazole. It is 1, 3 diazole. It is imidazole. It is saturated or unsaturated? It is unsaturated. It is unsaturated. It is 5 member, 2, then 3, 4. This one is 5. So this is unsaturation. 5 member containing nitrogen, 2 nitrogen atoms at the position 1 and 3. This is called as imidazole. If it is diazole, it is also diazole. But if it is 1, 3 diazole, it is 1, 2 diazole. So 1, 3 diazole is called as imidazole. 1, 2 diazole is called as pyrazole. Or 1, 2 diazole, 1, 3 diazole. Like this. Azoles are 2 types, 1, 2 and 1, 3. So tetrahydrofuran means each and every carbon is saturated here. So tetrahydro indicates the carbons are saturated. 4 carbons. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. These carbons are saturated and it contains oxygen, means furan. It is tetrahydrothiophene. Like thiophene means this one. This is called as thiophene. So when we replace this unsaturation like this, so this is called as tetrahydrothiophene. It is Pyrrole. It is azole. Then furan. Oxole. It is what? Oxole. OLE. OLE is for 5 member. It's thiol. Thiophene. It is imidazolidine. Like this. Imidazole. Imidazolidine. It is imidazole 1, 3. It is again 1, 3, but it is saturated. That's why it is zolidine. That's why it is zolidine. You can use this. It is very important. Use this table. Common name for heterocyclic compound. This is pyrazolidine. Pyrazolidine. Pyrazole. Where is pyrazole? It is pyrazole 1, 2. It is pyrazolidine. It is saturated. It is unsaturation. Oxazolidine, isoxazolidine, like this. Then continuation with again 2 heteroatoms in 5-member ring system, not the same heteroatom. In case of these are the same, like this nitrogen, 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 nitrogen. But oxazolidine, isoxazolidine means it contains different heteroatom, oxygen and nitrogen in their structure. Again, this is oxazole, oxazole. Oxia means oxygen, azole means nitrogen. It is saturated or unsaturated? It is unsaturation. Isoxazole. This iso means again 1, 2. It is 1, 3. Thiazolidine. Thia, OSN. OSN means oxygen is the first preference. After that sulfur, and after that nitrogen. So first is, second is, and third one is thiazolidine. Thiazole. 1, 3, thiazole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Isothiazole. It is 1, 2. When the write the structure of isothiazole, so you must draw this, because these sulfur and nitrogens are nearer to each other. Dioxolane. Yes, 2 are oxygen at 5-member ring system. Okay. So oxathiolane. So oxygen is the first and then sulfur. So second and third. That's why oxathiolane. Lane means saturation. Alane. Dithiolane. Again saturation. Triazoles. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4 triazole. Dithiazole. Dithia. Then azole. Oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen is the last. So again oxygen first, second, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Oxadiazole. Isn't it? Thiadiazole. Thia means sulfur. Dia means 2. 2-diazole. And a tetrazole. 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 It is what? Nitrogen. It is nitrogen. Tetrazole. It is tetra means 1, 2, 3, 4. Tetrazole. It is a carbon, not sulfur. Tetrazole. If it is a sulfur, so it is tetra O S N. So thia tetrazole, like diazole, thia tetrazole, like this. So it is written wrongly. Tetrazole means here is the carbon, but if the carbon is replaced with this sulfur, so it like this, thia tetrazole, like, isn't it? 6-member pyridine. Again pyridine means again saturation. Tetrahydropyran, thene, pyridine. So it is 6-member ring system. Aziridine, 3-member. Aziridine is 3-member. It is pyridine. It is 2H pyran, 5-pyrazine. It is saturated. Diazenes. Dia means this 1,4-diazine. Pyrimidine. It is 1,3 fully unsaturation. Morpholine containing nitrogen and oxygen. It is saturation. Thiomorpholine. Oxygen is replaced with sulfur. 1,4-thioxane. Then dioxane is the solvent. Dioxane. 1, 2, 4. It is 1,4-dioxane. 6-member system. Dioxine. It is what? Again unsaturation. Dioxine. Triazine. 1, 2, 3. Triazine. Again it is triazine, but which triazine? It is 1,3,5 triazine. Trioxane. 1, 2, 3. Trioxane. Tetrazine. 1, 2, 3, 4 tetrazine. 7-member ring system. Azepan. It is 7-member. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oxapane. PANE. Again the use of this table. PANE 7-member. PANE, it is PANE without nitrogen, isn't it? 7-member. It is 7-member ring system. Thiophene, azapine, 7-member but nitrogen containing unsaturation. Oxapine, unsaturation. Thiophene, unsaturation. Diazepine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is thiazepine. Then 8-member azokane, oxacane, thiocane, azosine, thiosine, 1, 3, 4 triazosine. That's triazosine. 1, 3, 4 triazosine. Sine means it is 8-member ring system. 1, 2 diazosine, 1, 4 oxazicine. These are the 8-member ring system. And the last one is fuse member ring system. It is benzofuran. Numbering system is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. It is benzofuran. Indolizine, benzothiopene, then indol, benz Pyrrole, isoindol, indoline, benzimidazole, it is benzimidazole, it is 1H indazole, then benzthiazole, it is benzene and thiazole, it is benzthiazole, then benzisoxazole, benzoxazole, it is oxazole with benzene, that's why it is benzoxazole. It is benzisoxazole, benz with isoxazole. Numbering will be starting from this oxygen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like benzisothiazole, dibenzofuran. This is dibenzofuran, dibenzothiopene, dibenzopyrrole. It is carbazole like this. Quinoline. It is benzpyridine. It is benzene and pyridine, that's why it is called as pyridine. It is isoquinoline, quinazinium and quinazoline, 1, 3. It is pyridine, it is pyrimidine, and this one is benzene, benzpyrimidine, quinazoline, cinolene, it is 2 nitrogen, diazine, it is 1, 2 diazine, quinoxaline, diazine, 1, 4 diazine, quinoxaline, thalazine, it is again 2 nitrogen, 1, 5 naphthyridine, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 naphthyridine. It is pyridine. It is pyridine means it is what? Pyrimidine and diazine. Pyridine. It is purine, imidazole and pyrimidine. It is pyrimidine, it is imidazole, 5-member and 6-member ring system fused with each other. Adenine, guanine, acridine, diabenes, pyridine, phenazine, diabenes, diazine, anthracidine, it is phenanthroline, but the carbon is replaced with nitrogen. It is pyridine, that's why it is phenanthroline. Phenanthroline. Like phenanthride is again nitrogen. Pyridine is there. Phenothiazine, phenoxacine, anthracene, napyridine. Napyridine is present in quinolone antibacterial. It is phenothiazine. This is regarding the introduction of all types of heterocycles, like 3-member to 8-member with fused member ring system. with nomenclature. And very important part in this table of indication of common name ending for heterocyclic. So if you are clear with this table and with this prefix used for each and every heteroatom, so you are able to write the name of heterocycle from this. So thank you once again.